So first and foremost, we hope Anthony Davis is okay as he sprained his MCL. How do the Lakers survive without him for potentially 20 games? Well, health and safety could do the work for them. It also could mess them up even more, but let's dive into it. The obvious thing is they're going to need LeBron to be awesome, but they're probably also going to have to go to him at center a little bit more, especially because Dwight is currently out as well. You have four shooters spacing the floor out for LeBron. Even as I say that, Austin Reeves is currently out. So assuming the Lakers can put a basketball team on the court, spacing around LeBron would be step one. Like where you start LeBron on the wing with nobody in the paint and then you just have him cut off of a pass from Melo. They should also look into more of this stuff. LeBron setting screens for Westbrook or the other way around. Here's another example of LeBron screening just from last night. It leads to an open three for Melo. Westbrook should also be able to benefit from some more minutes with no big guy. But still, there's going to be minutes when you have Dwight or DeAndre Jordan out there, and there's probably going to be some possessions like this one where he's just standing in the dunker spot, the spacing's rough, and so you just have to take a shot you don't feel great about. I feel like this sounds super basic, but I think the best thing you can do is just make sure they're involved. Like here, where DJ sets an early screen for Russ. Of course, the counter to this action is daring the Lakers' so-so shooters to beat you from outside. Here's another set they could explore more. Ken Bazemore sets a screen on Malik Beasley, and it allows Russell Westbrook to cut from the corner. As for the defense, well, when they have no big guy, the hope is that the switchability and athleticism can make up for size. These lineups have held up pretty okay. I think this possession just shows the potential for the good and bad for these sorts of things, where the switching leads to a shot that you feel good about if you're the Lakers, but also the size around the rim leads to you giving up some more boards. Now to talk about DeAndre, he's going to have to play some minutes, especially with Dwight out. I'm sure Laker fans are not too hyped about it. They actually have one other option at 7-footer Jay Huff, who they just brought up from the G League. For what it's worth, in the 5 minutes he's played, that was a good possession. He also moves his feet pretty well on this play to keep with Nathan Knight and contest him at the rim. And you've also got this one where he drops on Jordan McLaughlin, and hey, you got a floater out of him, better than a layup. So you hope that he and DJ can hold down the fort until Dwight comes back, and then hopefully you've got a trio of centers that can give you just some minutes along with the small ball stuff, and you can hold up defensively. Let's check out Jonathan Kaminga's 26 points. Defended by Scotty Barnes in the post. We go into a turnaround jumper. Ooh, a hook shot. I like that. Now we're getting him starting in the corner, a handoff from Kevon Looney. Chris Boucher switches, can't do anything with him. The Warriors are apparently extremely high on Kaminga, and they think he could be really awesome one day. He's 6'8", 225, great athlete, but with him the questions are his IQ, his decision making. But when you see plays like this one, with his 6'8", 220 frame, where he can hit Precious Achiuwa with a couple of in and out dribbles and get to the rim, then you can see why he was a high pick. His jumper also has to be more consistent. Kemba was great, and I was happy but also terrified. Jay Rich went off for the Celtics. He's now shooting over 40% from three. I have no idea if that is sustainable. Teams have gotten in trouble believing that they could depend on Jay Rich from outside, but it's been good so far this season. And I do think Udoka should explore playing Richardson with Tatum and Jalen more often. I think he's the closest thing to another two-way wing. Sure, it's another guy who's not a natural playmaker, but you take what you can get. Also, Julius Randle's blah season continued to be blah. I'm sure he's not bad every game, and there's been some nights when he's still been great, but I don't know, man. They need him to be awesome. I don't think it's all Randle's fault. Of course, he's the one missing the shots, but I also wish he was just involved in more dynamic actions. And to be fair, he does set screens. It's just a little underwhelming when this is what feels like always the result of them. It would be cool if there was just a little more of this stuff sprinkled in, where he sets a screen and then he clearly has the intention of getting to the rim, because this can lead to, of course, open shots for him at the basket, but also corner threes and stuff. Anyway, let me try to bounce around the league besides telling you that your favorite team has like 6 players right now. SGA had a buzzer beater against the Clippers. There's something about an SGA step back that's just a little different. He just seems to have his own specific step back package, it seems. Man, Nick Batum, you see how far back Nicholas Batum was by the end of this thing? He was basically at the free throw line. Gary Payton II tries to dunk on Watanabe, and then they laugh about it. Okay. You know what this is like? It's like when two people yell at each other from their cars, and then you get to a red light, and then you just have to quietly act like the other person isn't there. I have no idea what I just said. All right, we'll talk about it a little bit. It's not like I can avoid this completely, you know? There's going to be a plan to sign additional replacement players. I think it's wild that nobody has signed Tyreek Evans yet. Like, he is eligible to play in the NBA. I have no idea what the process is to get back in the NBA, but. And there's been talk about a pause. And I mean, look, man, I don't know. The thing with a pause is like once everything ramps back up, this is all going to happen again, but maybe it gives you a moment to reset. But then it's also like, are you asking guys to quarantine with where they're at for that whole break? I have no idea, dude.